Here it is. XFly Twin Otter, 1800 millimeter. This is a 6S bird. Look how much room is in that battery compartment. Tons of room. Flying on a 6S 5000. 11RX 7-channel stabilized receiver. Stock motors, master air screw props. Everything else stock. This is a really good flying plane. Look at them lights. There's lights everywhere. Alright. Folks, we're going to fly the XFly Twin Otter. I got this plane from Dynamic Deans. Thank you guys. I still appreciate it. Still enjoying the heck out of this plane. And we are going to fly her. This is my first 6S plane. I've got a couple flights on it already. One I lost the footage on, so we're going to have to get some more footage of this thing because it's a big, beautiful plane. Alright, it's all set up and ready to go. I'm going to set her on the ground and we will get her in the air. Stay tuned. RX is working. I think I've moved my CG forward just a bit, so I'm going to go ahead and give it Alright folks, sorry about that little pause there. I had a phone call and we have a roof replacement scheduled, and I thought it was the contractor calling, but it was not. So we're back. Alright, let's get a surface check. Elevator rudder. It's got a steerable nose wheel. Flaps, I still don't have voice call outs yet, so I will let you know what I'm doing. And that nose wheel has suspension gear. This thing has a tight turning radius, folks. I'm really surprised how tight this thing will turn. Looking at the two, they're both supposed to be 18 millimeters, but that Twin Otter looks a tiny bit bigger for some reason. I don't know. We'll have to measure them. Alright. Throttle cut off. Motors are working. Let's get this monster up in the air. Oh, I do want to go in and make one more adjustment to my flaps. Alright, so I'm going to use takeoff flaps and runway's clear. Let's get her in the air. Flaps are up. Just fly her a little bit above half throttle, make sure she's still trimmed good.
Time remaining 6 minutes.
Big plane. Flies like a big plane. Alright, I adjusted my rates for my ailerons. So let's get around here and see if we improve the roll any at all. It's slightly better. It's a bit of a slow roller. More of a scale flyer.
Time remaining 5 minutes.
But she is big. Put some takeoff flaps in. We're going to do a little more flap testing here. Full flaps now.
Time remaining 4 minutes.
I am going to make another flap adjustment. Turn my throttle cut on. Alright. I reduced my percentage for full flaps because it wants to drop just a little under full flaps, so we turn that down and we are going to get back up and try it again. Still on takeoff flaps.
Time remaining 3 minutes.
Full flaps. We're going to adjust it some more. It's better. Yeah, I want a little more. Alright, let's get her back around. Alright, still got takeoff flaps in. And go back up and try the landing flaps again. Flaps up. Take off flaps. Full flaps. It's better.
Time remaining 1 minute.
Alright, let's get her out and land her. Full flaps. Alright, one more adjustment. And one more up and down. Flaps up. Take off flaps. Landing flaps. Much better. All right, we're getting her dialed in. I'm going to put another battery in her, and we are going to get her fine-tuned, I think. I think one more little adjustment on flaps, and I'm going to call that good. It's going to settle in like I want. Because it's a big, heavy plane, and I don't want it to plop. I want it to just settle in and just touch down. So, all right. Stay tuned. I'm going to pause here and we'll put another battery in and get it right back up. Thanks for watching. Alright folks, we're back with the Twin Otter. And we've got a fresh battery in her, Volvonic 6S5000. And we made another adjustment to the flaps. And we're going to do a couple of tests on that and then just fly it. Alright, let's get it up in the air. Throttle cut off. A little sunshine. Alrighty. Up she goes. Flaps up. Flying about half throttle. Take off flaps and landing flaps. Alright, I believe it's going to be a whole lot better. Let's get her out there.
Time remaining 6 minutes.
I am going to have to set up reverse thrust. This is a big heavy plane and it has a long rollout. All right. Back into takeoff flaps. We'll do one more test. I'm going to see if I can't get her down a little gentler, a little quicker. And then I'll tell you what I did with my flap settings. Flaps up. Do takeoff flaps, pull some power back,
Time remaining.
full
5
flaps.
minutes.
Pull more power back. That's what I want. Yes. Alright, as I'm taxiing back, I'm going to tell you what I did. I got my flap settings, the elevator compensation set for, on takeoff flaps I have 6%. Down elevator for takeoff flaps. And what I found with the full, let me walk out and show you these flaps. So the full flaps up, when I go to takeoff flaps, you can see they're flooded. Not truly. I don't think you'd call that a fouler, because the foulers come out and down, I think, but you get the gap there, so air can come through, and I'm at 6% with that, and that gives me, if I maintain the throttle, it gives me slight nose up. If I reduce throttle, it gives me level flight. And then with full flaps, it's not even quite barn doors. I went to 0% elevator compensation, down elevator compensation, 0%. So there's none at full flaps, and the thing floats in like a dream now. So the changes I made a CG change from where Scott from Dynamic Deans had it marked. I moved mine just a little bit forward. It seemed to be very, very, have a whole lot of tail authority, and I wanted to deaden that just a little, so I moved my CG forward, retrimmed for level flight there, and then get the flaps set now to where it just comes in. It doesn't want to drop, it doesn't want to balloon. On full flaps, it'll just float in and settle in, and I'm not constantly fighting that elevator and porpoising, which is what I want. Big heavy plane, I don't want this thing bouncing. Alright, so we got takeoff flaps in, and we are going to go ahead and run through this battery. I have 4¼ minutes left. I checked my other battery, folks, that I took out, and I had I think my timer is 7 minutes, and I had 50% left after a 7-minute flight. So I think this thing's pretty efficient. 5,000 I think is plenty. You could probably run it on a 4,000 or 4,500 and still get 5-6 minutes, but I like the 5,000s. That's where I'm tuning it for, so I'll pick up a few more. I've only got 2 right now, just 2. So I got to get more. This is my first 6S plane, so I'm going to shut up. Some of you guys saying, shut up, Dave. Just fly, don't talk, shut up. Alright. Flaps up.
Time remaining 4 minutes.
My roll rate has definitely improved. This is a fast plane, folks. For a big heavy twin like this thing is fast. Let me see if I can get her out. And come by fairly close at full throttle. Full throttle right there. For a big heavy 1800 millimeter, that's quick. See if I can get a little closer. That'll definitely impact my battery flying this way. I don't think this is meant to be an aerobatic plane, but it'll sure do some stuff. Surprised with it.
Time remaining 2 minutes.
But it's big and easy to see. Woo! Holy moly, that was a tight loop for that thing. I thought I was going to bust the wings off. Gosh darn. I may look at getting some scimitar props as well. That may quiet it down a little.
Time remaining 1 minute.
Full flaps. It's putting along. Flaps up. Oh yeah. Scott and Jackson, Dynamic Deans RC. Thanks for the deal, my friends. I'm really enjoying this plane. Alright. Sounds like my timer's gonna hit, so we're gonna drop full flaps. Pull throttle way back.
Time expired.
Ooh, that thing will ride a wheelie. Flaps up. Alright, throttle cut on. Come fly the friendly skies. Strange RC. Thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate y'all. Scott, again, buddy, thank you. I love this plane. It is a ton of fun. Alright, thanks for watching, folks. We will see you in the next one.